there it goes, homies. It's Keep Up with Stillvinsane and Oslamalo. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. Here I am with my dear compadres, Harry, and we got us, Oslamalo, like I said. How many times do I have to fucking repeat myself? Anyway, welcome back. Let's get into some topics.
What the fuck happened?
Let's get into something real silly. Well, is it silly? I don't know. Maybe it's like normal nowadays. But the Trikini. I was looking through a magazine, and I had to look online to see if it was verified and real. But a Trikini, it's kind of what you're thinking. It's a 3-piece bikini. It's covering your breasts, your boob and bust area. It's also covering the landing strip. You got the bottom area, and then you're also covering the second landing strip, the other pussy to mouth. Yes. So now, like we used to make fun of countries that covered themselves religiously, traditionally in garb. We used to make fun of China, a lot of even Chinese Americans, Korean Americans. Even when I went to the Philippines, they had a lot of masks. But now we're the new Chinese people. What do you think, Oscar?
Well, I saw this started to happen, and an Italian company over there, designer Tizina. It's one of those designer companies that once they start a trend, everybody's going to jump on it. And now because they're starting to reopen up, everybody's rushing to get these things. And I'm like, come on, seriously. At first, I'm not going to rush to go to the beach or anywhere public right now because of what we're going through. So it's just they're trying to just get money. That's all it is. It's all about money in the end.
Get money. Get that cream. Get that money. No, I feel you on that. But hey, no, why not? Why not get all pieces in one? Why not try we used to live near Jamaica Avenue. I'm sure you want to get it all piece in one. So if we're gonna get a mask, why do I need to go to a separate spot to mask my coochie and mask my mouth? Come on, Oscar. Come on. Get with the program, Oscar. Get with the time. No, I'm joking. Drew Brees, and I don't even know what the coach's first name, Fangio. What's his first name? I forgot. Harry, what's the head coach, Fangio, from the Denver Broncos' first name? It's not that important, but whatever. Alexia Beachwater, the Italian designer. Oh, yeah, that's what you were calling. Alexia Beachwater.
Yeah.
For the Trikini. The Trikini. Italian designer company. But anyway, so now we're on to Drew Brees. And I would like to start off by a funny meme that I sent to the crew. It was a Madden attribute. Did you see that, Oscar?
No.
Oh, my bad. So they had this attribute list from the Madden gameplay, from the interface.
Oh.
And it had all his good attributes. And everything was high, obviously, because, Drew Brees is still playing at a high level. And one of them was zero awareness.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter actually, and I started sending it around because the guy should be more aware of what's going on.
Lead us in this topic, by the way. You're really into sports, so lead us in this topic, please.
Yeah, so he went out and publicly went on I think it was Yahoo Finance, and he's been interviewed about what's going on, and he decides to bring up his grandparents who both fought in the Second World War. And, that's great and that's honorable, but that's not why that's not why Kaepernick kneeled. We all know why, especially if we're of color. So, his comments, you can't say something like that and sound so ignorant, especially when one of your best wide receivers, Michael Thomas, goes on and, they started basically posting on Twitter, you're wrong. And, big props. Yeah, big props for LeBron putting him in his place also. For what he said,
Absolutely.
He was the first one that you're like, oh shit, LeBron checked him, and
calling out the hypocrisy of Laura Ingraham from Fox News, who told him to shut up and dribble.
Yep. Oh, and they actually debuted that series on Showtime, I think about a week and a half ago for the first episode, Shut Up and Dribble.
That's right, produced by him. Making money off her words.
Yep. So he went back right the same night, and on ESPN. And he put out a statement that said he was wrong because PR is going to handle this. He's
you're right. Twice had to apologize, and I didn't believe either one. To be honest,
exactly. You could see right away he's doing this because there's money involved, and he's Drew Brees. He shouldn't have spoken about that and the way he did to begin with. There's a reason why people are going out and protesting. I think tonight is what, the 11th or 10th night in a row, which I'm sure it's going to happen. And another update on that, they lifted the curfew, so there's no longer a curfew because nobody's following it really. So
I know they're not following CDC guidelines. They're not following the curfew.
yeah,
New Yorkers just, we ain't shit and we don't give a shit. It's all good. I'm going to try not to. By the way, there was a couple of people that stood for Brees. Davenport, that's one of his teammates. That's the only one I know that really stood up for him as a teammate. Charles Barkley also said that it was overkill. What the responses were, he said that, you should be able to state your opinion. Obviously, Laura Ingraham, like I said, the double standard, she said that Drew Brees should not be persecuted for his opinion. She also made a statement after LeBron James made that comment about Drew Brees, saying that his father-in-law, with the hot-ass Savannah, his wife is so hot. Sorry, had to pay tribute. But so he said that his father-in-law, and many other black, Michael Wilbon, many people that have fought in the service, they came back and they didn't have the GI Bill to come back to. They had segregation to come back to. I saw a movie called Mudbound. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was on Netflix with Mary J. Blige. That showed a scene where he had come back from war and he was still like in a plantation area, and he was these white people were coming at him, and they showed him no respect for being a veteran whatsoever. This guy fought and almost died to protect their rights, and yet they viewed him as, a lowly black person. And and unfortunately, we're still in those times, and I don't want that to always be the subject of the show, but
this is what we're living through.
That's what's happening. Drew Brees and Roger Goodell. We didn't even put that on the outline because it's pretty much breaking news. He freaking 4 years too late apologized. Talk about that.
Yeah, now he goes on and makes a statement because everybody is putting out statements right now, and not only does he half-ass apologize, but he doesn't even decide to bring up Kaepernick or anything, as if he's not giving him recognition for he's the one who started this. So it's like everybody's backtracking, but they're also putting their foot in their mouth. Is like, come on, guys. We look at what's going on.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Stay blessed. Anyway, so let's move on.
What the fuck did I hear?
All right. Not the hugest Lady Gaga fan, but I thought it was pretty cool. In today's streaming era, there's not a lot of people that sell a lot of albums. 53K is not a lot. Back in the day, me and Oscar, like I said, we went to middle school together, so we're around the same age. And we remember the days where people were going diamond. Diamond is 10 million units. Carlos Santana has done that, NSYNC has done that, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Nelly, Ja Rule.
50 Cent.
A lot of people have gone diamond.
Jay-Z.
Yeah. The record for most albums sold ever, I think, is Boyz II Men, and they beat the Commodores, and that was like around 30-something million records. Wow. And I think the most solo of all time is still Michael Jackson. I think it's like around 30-something million copies for Thriller. And he still owns a record for pre-sales, too. He went double platinum before the album even hit stores.
Wow.
So, exactly. So, Michael Jackson, whether he touched little boys' buttholes or not, still a very impressive career. King of pop. So, she sold 53,000 copies in 1 week, and it's the best of the sales so far this year of 2020. So, congrats to her. I noticed that there was another Joy Division. We don't have to talk about that too long because we talked about that on another episode. This time it was Love Will Tear Us Apart. It's this show that I'm watching called Normal People. It's about this Irish couple that's not supposed to be together, and this guy named Connell, he makes like all these jerkhead moves that just keeps them apart. So it's just really annoying, and it's like very, very romantic. It's like Dear John. Actually, shout out to Sophia. She recommended it, like The Affair, a lot of soft porn, whatever. It's okay. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's pretty good.
And this is on Hulu, correct?
This is on Hulu. It's actually highly rated. It's very highly rated. It's like in the 90s, actually. But I don't know if you're into that. Actually, you might be because you're into Dawson's Creek, so maybe you are into that. It's very, very like
Yes, I am a fan.
It's very sappy. It's very sappy. Exactly. It's like watching the Notebook but in like 12 episodes. It's like
Oh my god.
exactly. So I know. I'm like on episode 9 and I'm just like, oh my god. But anyway, it's okay. Like you said, curfew ends. Why is that on here? Anyway, let's get to. Oh, I wanted to ask, Harry and Oscar, what are your favorite, like from television series? What is your favorite soundtrack?
Weeds.
From television?
Weeds. That's
I
a
love
good
the
choice.
soundtrack from.
I'm not talking about the theme music though, but yes.
Oh, they always had
I
like
agree.
dope music in general.
All
Like,
right, there we go.
even at the end
you're-
credits, like it was. I enjoyed the soundtrack from Weeds. I felt like the music they used fit in the scenes they were using.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck these glasses.
This might sound cheesy, but out of all the series that I've watched that I pretty much enjoyed, the one
Easy
that
never.
since I was a teenager, but I think the one that really comes to mind right away is because the amount of different aspects that I had was The Sopranos, because they would give you your Italian music, but then they would give you urban with the younger characters, with Meadow and the brother. So
I fucking hate them.
yeah,
I fucking hate the yo. Like I said, my parents are watching Breaking Bad, and they just finished finally. They just finished. Well, not finally. They did it in like a week. Those fucking lunatics.
What else are they gonna do?
But exactly. But whatever. They binged the shit out of it, and it was cool because I got to like walk in on a few parts that I really really enjoyed from the series.
nice.
But their soundtrack is sick. My favorite soundtrack is wow. Actually, I don't know what I'd like ask that question. Maybe Skins, British Skins. That's like my favorite soundtrack. Right now, the one that I'm enjoying the most, though, is from the show that we're all watching that we'll talk about a little later, Rami. And I think we all finished it,
Yep.
right? Did we all finish?
I did.
Nice. So we'll talk about that in a few seconds.
What the fuck did I watch?
All right, we're gonna let's actually give us your take on Rami, Oscar.
Well, this was a show you guys recommended, and we're running out of things to watch on all these networks.
I got all types of suggestions left over, bro.
So that's good. So I went on, and right away it was actually pretty cool because you get to see the perspective of somebody who's from the Middle East. I don't know about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had a lot of our classmates in high school and junior high school that were from those countries, and they were always very humble. But this gives you a really good feeling of what
He's
it's like
from Egypt,
to
not
live.
the Middle East.
Okay.
That is the Middle East.
It is.
No, it's.
I mean, it's
well, he
Africa.
says it's Africa, but it's still
It is the
counted.
Middle East.
It's the okay.
Well, he
It's
says
it's not the Middle East of Asia. It's the Middle East, but
well,
anyway,
basically, it's really good because you get to see the life of what somebody from over there has experienced as an immigrant. Even if you were born over here, you get to see his parents' life.
One more over here.
No,
He's
I
the
know.
first generation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But his parents it's basically like what I've lived through. Even though I wasn't born here, I was raised here. But it's such a good way of watching his life. And they have one, not to spoil anything, but they have an episode where they show him as a teenager during 9/11. And we all I can remember what we were in 9th grade when that happened. So
And they don't usually show the perspective of an actual Muslim Arabic.
yeah, and watching this show, it really gives you an insight of what the religion is like, doing the mudu or whatever that is. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but it was really good, Yeah.
The cleaning for Allah.
Yeah, so it just gives you a real,
Allah.
and it gives you a perspective of how they communicate, how they greet each other, how they believe in love and everything. And it's a really beautiful religion. I know I've seen some of it, but not to the point where they showed it on the show, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and big shout out to Marshall Ali, 2-time Academy Award winner. He's a big focus in season 2. I won't spoil anything, but Rami is not a good person. He's not a good guy. he tries to. He's like a lot of archetypes. He's like a lot of protagonists. They try too hard to be righteous. They try, and they don't care who they hurt in between to get there, just to like, you know, be righteous or be one with God or to be centered or to find their life's purpose. And that's exactly what he is. But he's amazing. He's so good at it. The characters are amazing. The casting is awesome. The people are gorgeous. Everything to me is authentic. I'm not Middle Eastern. I'm not Arabic. I'm not Muslim. I do have a Muslim in my family. My dad is Muslim, but he's a convert. He's American, so it's not the same in my eyes, at least. I've seen him celebrate Ramadan Mubarak, all those type of things, and it's really cool to actually apply that. I hope he does watch it because he doesn't really have too many things culture-wise as far as his Muslim faith is concerned on television. Yeah. And especially with a modern Muslim like that. I believe like in real life, he's like in his early 30s like us. So I even suggested, like we said, the soundtrack, it's a great mix of different Middle Eastern, from different Middle Eastern countries. And it also has a good mix. There was also the original Big Pimpin' song.
Yes, I had to Google that. I Googled it and I'm like, that's Big Pimpin'. I'm hearing in Indian.
Yeah, Middle Eastern, absolutely.
I'm like, what the hell? And it's right on YouTube. They have the original beat with that song. It was uploaded like 8 years ago. It's just, you know, it really shows you what the life is like on that side. You know, like growing up in Jamaica, Queens, I had a lot of Guyanese and Indian culture all around me, and I was friends with many of them. So it's pretty cool to actually see inside their life. You know, what they believe in, what they eat, how they pray. And, you know, we've seen plenty of shows that cover many things, many cultures. But if you keep giving us a different dive into different cultures, that's something that we're looking for. And like you said,
it's true. I don't like seeing the same old thing. And I like to see different lenses. I like to see different views. I like to see demographics that like I don't really know much about. Like I want to see Pose. That's about the gay community, the gay fashion community. There's another show called Betty that is, you know, I don't really watch that many shows about the lesbian community. So like I'm always trying to find a different perspective because like how else are you going to know? Unless I meet these people, and especially in today's time where I'm not going to be able to meet them too much. And especially if it's made by the group that actually is a part of the subject. Yes. I saw before we move on to another movie, I saw a statistic that The Help right now is one of the #1 movies being streamed in these last month. Octavia Spencer and Viola Davis and I believe Emma Stone. Yes. And it's pretty much like Green Book. It's pretty much like a white person's view of like, you know, how race relations were. She ate the shit pie. What's her name? Dallas.
I know.
Dallas Price Howard. So hot. Yes, exactly. Great movie, but definitely not indicative. Definitely not something you should look as like a playbook. Just like what's that movie called with Sandra Bullock? The Blind Side. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All these white saviors. That's what we like to call that. White saviors. Where white people look good. Exactly, white guilt, where they had to look like make themselves feel good about what was happening during civil rights, and it wasn't good. Anyway, let's move on real quick. I think we all watched Dave, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I've only seen the little bit that I saw with you guys that one time, so I have to catch up on that.
Seen it.
Nice. All right, tell us a little bit about it, Harry.
So Dave is basically, y'all heard of Little Dicky, one of the greatest white rappers of all time.
That's right.
I have to say white rappers. What
are his songs? What are his songs?
Save That Money. He has a lot. Shit. Now you put me on the spot. Chris
not
Brown.
My dick.
No, Freaky Friday.
That had a lot of collaborations on it too.
He did. He also did the Male Pre-Game Party. That's another one.
All right, let's get back to the show. What is the show about?
So basically, Dave is about a impression of him becoming a rapper. He's the main character. It's about Little Dicky becoming a big time rapper, you know. But it's kind of like a joke on him. I've noticed it as like a parody version of his life coming up as a comedic rapper or as a rapper in general. But it dwells within his upcoming to becoming a rapper.
True,
So,
and he's already a mainstream.
it's a
like
self-identifying
teeters.
movie. I've known a show. Like at the last episode, you find out the show's more about identifying who he is as a person than
True.
what who
And
he
one
is
of the
as a recruit.
producers is Jeff Schaefer. He's the same guy from Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's a fucking hilarious show. One of my favorite parts, actually, is a very serious moment when they go through what his hype man admits that he's bipolar. Yeah. It's something you don't usually see on a black television show. It's something that, well, I would say it's a black television show because most of the cast members actually are black.
There's like 3 white people in the show.
Little Dicky, like maybe like his roommates and stuff and his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's
everybody else is black. So it has like a great creative team. FX continues just like Atlanta, just like many of its great shows. FX is amazing, especially with their comedy show.
Especially if you give me, I saw a little bit with you guys, but if you tell me that it has anything to do with the fact that it involves Seinfeld, I'm sold.
Oh, Jeff Schaefer, yeah. Jeff Schaefer is a legend in the game. I forgot. He's done so many. If you look him up, he's done a lot, but he's a legend in the comedy game. And he was really young when he was doing Seinfeld. So, he's just going to keep going. Just going to keep going. So I watched a horror movie. I'll tell you real quick. It was called The Wretched. It was about this witch in the woods. They've mentioned it's like your typical. It's a root witch, and they've mentioned it on Sabrina before. But obviously, Sabrina is not a horror. It is dark, but it's not a horror flick. And this one was horror. This one they didn't give a fuck. There was a scene where like a witch was eating, like you could see the freaking ligaments in her mouth from a kid. And I'm like, oh, well, that's the type of movie I'm on right now. I watched it in the dark. I didn't regret watching it in the dark, but holy shit. It was very scary. It was in 2017.
Wow.
Not like, astounding, but they executed it well. Not amazing graphics, but like they did the job. Mm-hmm. So definitely recommend The Wretched if you're definitely into horror. One of the freaking genres that's dying, but it's trying to make a little comeback. And Harry, you watched The Disaster Artist.
I have.
A movie. James Franco got robbed. Well, he got Me Too, so rightfully so. Yeah. But what is it about?
So The Room, it's about the creation of the movie The Room, which is the worst. This is the worst movie of all time.
Who made that movie?
Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau was one of the guys who made it.
That's right, baby.
No one knows how old he is, what the fuck, how he has money.
I got my money.
Yeah, they don't know where he's from, how old he is. They just know he's rich. And he's weird. That's the only information they receive. So basically, it shows how The Room got
considered made. The worst movie of all time, but also one of the best because it's so bad.
It's so bad, it's good. So.
You ever seen it, Oscar?
Say it again. I couldn't hear you.
You ever seen it, Oscar?
Yes, I have.
The Room of the Disaster Artist.
That hearing aid moment was brought to you by Apple. Apple sucks. But The Disaster Artist, yes. So you've never seen The Room, Oscar?
No, I haven't seen The Room. So I've only seen the.
Very bad. Very bad. But it's funny, though. You'll laugh. Right. And it's very funny because The Disaster Artist, the reason why it's like as good as Harry is advertising is because they literally copy scene for scene.
Yes,
they literally and freaking made it mirror-like to what they did when they first shot the movie.
Wow.
So even when they're showing, it's like the movie is about the making pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's showing him, but it's also side by side, pretty much showing like how they recorded it back then, and it's identical, and it's really impressive.
Yeah.
So now,
the rendition of the filmmaker by James Franco is impeccable.
So now, if you're recommending, obviously either or two, in which order do you watch them in?
The Room.
The Room first.
Okay.
Because that's what it's making. That's what it's showing how it got created, and the process with Tommy Wiseau and his partner, who's the other main character in the movie.
Okay.
I have a friend that met him, the Tommy.
Oh wow.
That dude is nuts. That dude is.
Dave Franco is also in the movie. They play opposite each other.
That's right. His brother.
Yeah.
That's right. Short brother. All right.
What the fuck did I play?
And I'm going to keep it a little old school. I started getting back into Uncharted. I'm only on part 2, by the way, so we're not going to talk about it too much. Sully and all that. Watch out for the movie that's going to come out, I believe, next year with Tom Holland and I forgot who's playing Sully. Is it Mark Wahlberg?
Mark Wahlberg.
Or one of them? Yeah, gotcha. That's going to be great. I like the fact that they're going younger for the character. What do you think about that? Did you play any Uncharted?
You know that I remember Uncharted was one of the first PS3 games, I believe. And yeah, along with Assassin's Creed back in the day. And I played the first one, and I remember it feeling like a Tomb Raider with a male version, sort of.
It was very much like Tomb Raider.
Yeah, what it is.
Like, not much different, to be honest.
So just with like a little.
They're still good though.
Yeah, they're good. You know, I can't get into the story. The gameplay is amazing. You know, the graphics and everything they bring to the table. But the story of Drake, it's never been something I liked. You know, I just feel like it's a copy of another game, and even though it's good, I'm not a big fan. It's just my take on it. You know, it takes a lot to impress me.
Games too easy to get these synopses, to get these reviews.
It takes a lot to impress me in a game, and Drake just didn't do it. You know, he was basically a modern day version of Lara Croft in new graphics.
You have to see the story. Lara Croft, there's different parts to it. Lara Croft's father is rich and he's dead. Then you have freaking Sully. It's actually in Tomb Raider. You don't have the double play. You don't have the dual action. Mm-hmm. Like Sully actually follows you and he helps you. And like if you have to like get lifted up into places, so it's a lot different. I hear you though. I hear you, Naughty Dog. But that's another one you should try again, man. And it's cheap. I think it's like free online now.
Yeah, they have a bunch of games right now. Yeah, a lot of these games are on sale right now. So I saw God of War, the most recent one, for $10. I was actually thinking
I spent $60 on that game, and now.
But you see, that's one of the reasons why games like that, even though they're great, sometimes don't buy them right away unless you're going to play them right at the second. Because I bought Tomb Raider when it first came out.
Or your friends hold your game hostage. Sekiro.
I didn't even play the game.
You weren't going to like that game. I knew that game was too hard for you.
No, it's not that it was too hard. I didn't even try it, to be honest with you. I didn't even play it. Now, something that I have been playing again, and this is weird that I'm saying this, but I actually deleted NBA 2K after I got it, after like maybe 4 months, because they messed up the franchise mode. So I went back into it, finally downloaded it again, and I saw that you've been playing, so we got to play. But also, man. They fixed
you saw that I was playing 1-on-1 on the black court?
Yeah, I saw that. So they did fix the franchise, which is about time. It only took them like almost a full year. We're about to get the NBA back, so I guess I got that itch to play some basketball again.
Nice, we'll play. We'll definitely play. Oh my God, yo, I'm on developmental league. It's so awesome, but we're not going to get into that anymore. I wanted to talk real quick. I've never played this game, but it seemed very interesting. Catherine's Full Body. The first game came out in 2011. It's basically a simulation like romance game, actually, like back in the day, like with Luxury Larry, where like you're basically picking the scenarios. To be honest, it's a little similar to like the Flash games in porn, where like you get to pick like the scenarios and like which one, like what action happens next. So Catherine's Full Body is going to premiere first on Switch. A lot of people say that it's a dumbed down version of the game that they first came out in 2011. And it's also going to get released on the rest of the platforms. I thought that was really cool. And let's move on. So I'm not really into like Switch. I have a Switch, but I don't usually get it. I don't usually play the adventure games that they have on the lineup. But that actually seemed pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to try to at least check it out.
Nice.
They have a demo, by the way, available on Switch.
What the fuck did I say?
And I must say, so this week's episode, and we won't get it wrong this time. I'm sure some of you guys peeped that. And it got fucking darker over there, bro. What the hell?
I don't know.
Money where your couch is. Now, the original phrase is money where your mouth is. Or, wherever the dick goes, who knows? But money where your couch is. The reason why I say that is a lot of people don't back up what they say. So one of the things that I've never really backed up what I said, I've said this many times, I've never ever been to an actual protest. I've never been to Occupy Wall Street. I've never been to Zuccotti. I've never been anywhere. I wasn't alive for the good ones either. I was too little for the Million Man March, the first one. I think it was in college for the second Million Man March. I had a chance to go to the Women's March. Didn't get to go to that. I wanted to go to the inauguration, but I was working for someone and they wouldn't let me like advertise like for politics or something like that. So like I said, so a lot of people talk a lot of big game. We've seen all these protests. We've seen everybody out the Wu-Zang, like freaking making their points across. But unless they're making real action, what's the point? And same thing with me. My bad. You get my bad. I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
I'm what you consider what Kanye calls a house Negro. I like to make the change from the inside. And my grandfather didn't say that phrase to me, but my grandfather pretty much said that growing up. That like you don't really always have to be on the picket line. Sometimes you have to infiltrate. And in order to like be around people, like you have to like fake the funk until you actually make it. So yes, I know that's a funny phrase to say, house Negro and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm not sacrificing my life I'm not sacrificing my career. I love this podcast. I have a day job. Oscar has a day job. He's a family. Harry, we all have day jobs. We all have career aspirations. But some people will risk that for overall change. I'm just not one of them. I like to make the change from the inside. Yeah,
and like to add on to that, and it's not about that we're not the protest type. It's just we have to look at the overall picture. And I have a lot of people that I've seen on Instagram, cousins, Tracy, Kyle, my cousin Christian, Tracy's younger brother. And thank you for doing that. Because I can't do that. I can't go out there and protest. And and I've seen so many people doing it, and and I've also seen a lot of people also post, if you can't do it this way, do it another way, and they give you a full list of ways to do it. So it's just an important time that we have to remember. We're getting news sometimes that Jackson Heights was almost looted a couple days ago, so they had to board up all up and down there, and you see it all over the news. We heard something about Glendale, people coming here and trying to break cars. It's like, come on, but people are doing it. They're protesting. Is just be safe out there, and just gotta be careful out there. That's all, with everything that's going on. We just have to be aware.
What happened?
Looting is not protest.
Well, tell that to the rioters when Martin Luther King died.
Yeah,
People were looting for 6 straight days, and then the Civil Rights Act got passed. So looting works, to be honest.
And there's something good has come out of this. I heard 3 of the statues in a southern state were taken down this weekend, and it was done overnight, which is awesome. Yeah, and but this was the mayor of a city down south that actually overnight said, we're removing these. They're done, and that's awesome. We need to see more of that, and hopefully things can start to change. Little by little, people are gonna have to protest. We don't know how long this is gonna go. I say it can go probably till the end of the month.
No, it's funny that you mentioned the statues. We talked about it before. In the 60s, it was a plot by Republican and Southern Democrats. Even to this day, there's a lot of some Southern Democrats, even in Louisiana, that is like pro-life, not, a little bit on the borderline racist, or at least doesn't really show it out in public. But what were you saying? Time check. Oh, sorry, I'm reading notes out loud and shit like that. But shout out to Philando Castile, by the way. I just saw today. Unfortunately, the cop got away. That's the gentleman that announced that he had a gun in the car, and his partner was in the passenger seat, and the cop still shot him. Even though he said he had a gun, and he's like, I have a registered gun. I'm all licensed and ready to go, and the cop still shot him, and he got away with it. And I want to make a point out there real quick. I don't, at least the movement that I'm a part of, Black Lives Matter, I don't know what the fuck Antifa is. I know that I'm anti-fascist, but I don't know like if we're part of that group or not. Even the looters, I don't condone people hurting people. Shout out to the policemen that all resigned for pushing that old man in Buffalo. What the fuck? You're gonna have to choose sides, and I don't know where Oscar's side is. I'm not gonna speak for this crew, but I'm for defunding the police. I think the budget has ballooned way too much, and they're not diverting funds to making the police better. So I don't want to keep paying taxes toward people that kill my people. I'd rather go towards community programming.
Yeah, we've seen it, Vince. Just like you said, we see how much of the money is going to them, and these numbers they're staggering. There's a lot better ways to help communities. I came to this country. I lived in between Ravenswood and Queensbridge, so you get to see all of the aspects of it. All the way to where I moved to Jamaica, and you saw the areas that were affected. So we need to stop sending the money where it shouldn't go and send it to help these communities.
Yeah, and everybody loves the Second Amendment until a black person is holding a gun. So to be honest, even when the Black Panthers were policing their communities a while ago, until people tried to deem it as like a terrorist organization, just like the KKK, we saw Black Klansmen. It's not the only movie, it's not the only material that shows how deeply rooted the KKK and white supremacy is in the police department. Colorado is not the only place. Denver, Colorado is not the only place that cops are deeply rooted with KKK and racism. It's not. And it's still there. And there's some places that just don't want a police force there anymore. They want private policing. We mentioned this before. Kanye West has his own fire department.
Yeah,
people were making a big stink about it when they were having the fires, when they continue to have fires. They're never not going to have fires. If you live in California, you're going to have fires. And people were screaming because his fire was being put out while his neighbors were still engulfed in flames. And he has a private fire department because his neighborhood doesn't have a local municipality. So everybody has to pay individually for a fire department.
That's crazy. And
I think that's what we're going to have to do with policing. I don't think that the government, which is funny because Republicans want everything to be deregulated, but they want police enforcement to be part of the government.
Yeah. And just to wrap it up really quick, thank you to everybody who's listened to us in these last couple episodes. Hopefully we can make some type of entertainment in your day, and just thank you for listening.
And hopefully we're not that dumb. Hopefully we're making some information. If we have any corrections, we're not like the all be all. It's all good. So if you have any corrections, if you disagree with something, if you agree with something, please hit us up. Get on our comment threads. Get on Stillvinsane. Get on Oslamalo. Get on Jubear. Get on Keep Up NYC for Instagram. Get up on Keep Up NY for Twitter. Get on Oscar's Twitter. Talk to him. Fucking make fun of him for that little silly afro he has got going on. I'm joking. I like it. I like his little Kobe. His little Kobe fro. Also, what else do we have? We have the official Facebook group, Keep Up, Shut Up. We also have, what else do we have? We have a Patreon account, the Keep Up Podcast. We're on Twitch. John Estrella is our moderator and engineer. He helps edit the videos, helps edit the audio. Does a very good job of that. So if you want to catch him on Twitch, please go on Thundercat John, that is spelled with a K, .ttv. We're also on there as well. Let's get down to the outro, motherfuckers. You better listen up. Oh, no, my bad. Whoa, I'm the one fucking it up now. Whoa. Here we are.
Go ahead.
Take two. You better shut the fuck up.
Listen up.
And keep up.
With Oslamalo.
And Stillvinsane. Over and out, homies. We're going to get it right one day.
Next time.